Terrified Wasatch Bigfoot runs back to river near Tony's Grove. The Sasquatch looked like something that came out of a scary movie. Alexis writes RMSO. So it happened around 27 years ago in the Wasatch Mountains. We decided to take a quick camping trip with our 3 small children. There used to be a cute little pull-off next to the river just up from Tony's Grove. We got set up, started a fire, and started settling down for the night. Next thing I know, the campers closest to us started to shoot a gun in our direction. So my husband went to let them know, hey, we are camping over there. If you keep shooting in our direction, we will notify the authorities. Well, he was gone a good while. I got the kids down and sat by the fire enjoying the smell. That didn't last long. I smelled this dumpster smell and heard something in the water. I grabbed the flashlight and my gun and prepared to shoot whatever come out of the river if it threatened us in my direction. All I saw was something that looked like it came out of a scary movie. I let out a blood-curdling scream. It ran back to the river. I grabbed all 3 of my babies in one scoop, got into the car, and locked the doors. My husband and the other campers came running over. I told them what had happened. The one guy said, I am telling you, it was a young Sasquatch. Well, I wasn't trying to stay and investigate. We packed up camp and went home. I am not a person that is easily scared, but that night I was terrified by whatever it was that come out of the river. We never camped in that spot again. To this day, I see the half-man, half-beast clearly in my mind. It was the one and only time I have seen anything like it. I do believe it was young and scared. As a mom, you just kind of can tell. RMSO responds. Hi, Alexis. I believe most of the adults fear or have a healthy respect for humans, and so a juvenile that may have been lost and alone was probably upset. I live along the Wasatch Front and there are sighting reports here almost every year. As a matter of fact, the last one was up on the mountain near North Ogden about an hour before dark 2 weeks ago. I've actually camped on one of the pullouts near Tony's Grove and know of a couple of people that have had Bigfoot sightings there. Alexis continues, not to mention some jerks were shooting in its direction. The witness contacts us an hour after she spots the creature. Coldwater Bigfoot spotted on the mountain face, heading towards Garner's Cave on Christmas Eve. Lizzie writes RMSO. I saw a Sasquatch about an hour ago around 3 p.m. above North Ogden to the south of Coldwater Canyon, running between 2 trees. It was far away, and had I not been looking right at it as it happened, I never would have noticed. It was bipedal and dark brown. It wasn't a bear. It wasn't on a trail. It was on the face of the mountain behind the trees going to another group of trees. The only thing I could have mistaken it for was an extra large human dressed in a costume running off trail at fast speeds. RMSO responds. Hi, Lizzie. Okay, thank you for reporting it. There have been sightings around Coldwater Canyon in the past, including vocalizations all the way down to the fish farm that is fed by the Coldwater Canyon stream. We've hiked back into Coldwater Canyon a few times because of these sighting reports. Derek lives near Weber High School. He is going to glass the mountain with the spotting scope to see if he might get lucky if it's still around. He let me know he has full view of that part of the mountain, so he is looking for it right now. Hopefully it's still around. With the snowstorm rolling in, I wonder if it's headed to those caves in Garner's Canyon. Lizzie continues, thank you for the reply. Not sure who all would believe me, such an exciting experience. Thank you. I hope he has luck. It was south of Coldwater slightly between that canyon and that one that has endless Garner's Cave on the face of the mountain. Well, I think it must have been really good size for you to spot it way up there. Siksika Sasquatch captured on camera on Blackfoot tribal land. Legendary Wildlife Services provides the following image and states this photo was purportedly taken on the Blackfoot Reservation in Siksika, Alberta. There was also a trackway of Bigfoot tracks documented recently by Richard Right Hand. Appears that the entire range of the Rocky Mountains of North America is full of sighting reports, encounters, and documented evidence of this creature living in and around these amazing forests of the US and Canada. I also noticed a smaller Bigfoot-shaped track in some of the photos, perhaps a juvenile or a young teen. The Alberta Rockies have a lot of Sasquatch activity, like the recent giant sunchild Bigfoot captured on a trucker's dash camera. Early morning on May 30th, 2024, a trucker picked up equipment near Sunchild First Nations in the Rockies of Alberta, Canada, spots a large creature standing on the edge of an industrial site. The trucker did not see the creature until he was out of the truck walking toward the equipment he was about to load. He quickly ran back to his truck and drove off site. The dash camera recorded the creature as the truck drove onto site. Height estimates put this creature over 10 feet tall. Bigfoot leaps hog pen with 275-pound pig under its arm. Terrified horses alert family to Sasquatch taking their hog. Kelly Lee writes RMSO. I have seen them in McCall, Idaho, Aberdeen, Washington. I now live in Ontario, Oregon, and I always wonder when I will see one out here. McCall, Idaho in 1975 at twilight, on 5 acres, our horses and dogs were going nuts. I was 15 years old at the time. As soon as I opened the outside doors, the dogs ran in and went under the stairs and wouldn't come out. They were scared of what was outside. I went back and grabbed the .30-06, went back outside, started down towards the hog pen because of the noise. I thought I saw a bear, so I shot it. It also had a 275-pound hog under its arm. Now, mind you, a bear can't jump a 5-foot barbed wire fence and take off with it with a hog under its arm. Had to wait until morning to go after it, but it was nowhere to be found. During the summer, we had 3 55-gallon barrels down at the hog pen. Now, when you fill up those barrels with grain, water, and dairy products, you end up with a type of moonshine. And we were having a problem with the bear coming and drinking this mixture. So I thought that's what it was. Boy, I was not prepared for what it turned out to be. To this day, I start shaking when I think about it. RMSO responds, wow, how tall and wide would you estimate it was compared to the 275-pound hog? Amazing it jumped a fence carrying the hog. Did it get away with the pig? Thanks for sharing your experience. Kelly Lee continues, yes, it got away with the hog and a bullet in the back. We followed the blood trail until it crossed the Lake Fork Creek, and we lost it. But it was about 8 feet tall, and the shoulders were about 4 feet wide. It had no problem carrying the hog. RMSO states, thank you for the details. In 1961, my dad, uncle's grandfather, and his gold claim partner with his sons observed a Bigfoot out in the open, broad daylight, for well over a minute from about 100 feet away while they were working a gold claim during the month of August around 50 miles south of McCall, Idaho. My dad and uncles said that there were 10 of them that witnessed it. Because they were able to compare it to tree branches it walked past when it finally went for cover, they estimate it to be around 10 feet tall and reddish brown. My dad said that they were all working the sluice boxes in the creek when they noticed it. He said it appeared to be looking for something, and they watched it for nearly a minute and a half before it noticed them down in the creek watching it. That's when it went for cover of the trees and disappeared. Kelly Lee responds, right behind the nursing home on 5 acres of property, we lived in a double-sized trailer house, but we kept some horses in a small pasture, and of course the hogs, and there was 9 or 10 of the hogs. They all were good size, but the big one was the one taken, and it was going to be the breeder. But to this day, when I think about it, I get goosebumps up and down my necks and arms. If you have been to the fish and game shop, it was a quarter mile west of them, and I might add that 1975 and 1976 was the year of strange happenings. Sasquatch of the Rocky Mountains and Bigfoot evidence with encounters. Encounters and evidence of Bigfoot in the Rockies of North America. Sasquatch tracked in mountain trails near Boise forests. Peter Hollingshead found this Bigfoot-shaped track on the trails above Boise, Idaho. Our team actually hiked these trails last year because of a Bigfoot encounter reported in the area. Peter did a great job documenting the track using a cell phone to help gauge size. The phone is nearly 7 inches in length, showing that this Sasquatch-style track is around 20 inches in length and over 7 inches wide.